What steps one Webb City bar is taking to ensure its customers are safe during the pandemic. What you need to know to get your gas service back on in Carl Junction following an incident Friday. The challenges one Oklahoma utility is facing following the extreme cold earlier this month.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
A bar in Webb City is taking new precautions to keep their patrons safe from COVID-19. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Chris Warner. KOAM's Bronte Saratsky spoke with the owner of the Longhorn Bar and Grill and the owner of Envirotex to see how they were working together to create a cleaner space.
Roberta Riley is like many working in bars and restaurants trying to stay open and safe during the pandemic. This involves a lot of sanitizing and cleaning. She says it's all to keep her customers healthy, especially those more at risk.
We want to keep this as safe as we can here. We have a lot of elderly people that come in, and we're all one big happy family. If we lost anyone, it would just be devastating.
She wanted to make sure that the Longhorn would be safe for everyone, which is why the bar enlisted the help of Envirotex, a fogging service. Todd Stoltz, an owner of Envirotex, says fogging is a way to disinfect surfaces.
It's taking liquid and breaking it up into tiny, smaller particles, just very fine, and it gets in places where normal cleaning can't.
Riley says not only is it more convenient, but more sanitary as well.
It's easier to clean. It maybe gets places that we aren't able to get to.
She says that because the bar is located along Route 66, people from all over the country are always coming through.
We know who's in and out of here. And quite frankly, if you are tested positive with COVID, you're not maybe going to remember, hey, I was in a little bar in Webb City, to notify us.
Riley adds that it reassures customers that the bar sees their health as a priority.
It definitely gives people a sense of we are trying to do something to help get back to some sort of normalcy.
Stoltz says returning to normalcy is the main reason he does his job.
I want things to be normal. I want people to be able to go out. I don't want to go back inside the house.
The bar will be cleaned bi-weekly to keep the establishment as safe as possible. In Webb City, Bronte Saratsky, KOAM News.
Well, officials with Spire Energy say they're in the process of restoring gas service to Carl Junction. Now, Spire says something important here. Someone 18 years or older will need to be home in order for them to restore service. Now, the shutdown comes after firefighters say a gas line exploded on the south side of Carl Junction during what Spire says was a pipeline inspection process. One worker was injured in that incident. Showers and a few rumbles of thunder rolling through the four states on this February night. Meteorologist Nick Kelly joins us with the latest. Nick, good evening.
And good evening to you, Chris. While I was initially just a tad concerned that some of these storms could have been strong this evening, thankfully they have behaved. It's good news for everybody, so we don't have to worry about that as we go through the rest of the night as these rain chances stick around. But despite the rain chances and despite the fog this morning, we started at 33 and topped out around 63 for afternoon highs at Joplin Regional. We're not seeing a lot of activity on the radar in our immediate area right now, so some scattered showers stretching from the Beta back to near Chetopa and Oswego as you work into Cherokee County. But if we widen the picture out, we see additional rain and thunderstorms trying to get its act together across eastern and southern Oklahoma, and including ahead of a cold front that's still working through central parts of Kansas. So we're going to hold on to rain chances for the forecast. But as far as temperatures go, we've been holding steady in the 50s all evening long. We're still in the lower to middle 50s across much of the region. But once we get that cold front to finally work on through, we'll see overnight lows drop back ultimately down to about 47. Not much of a warm up for tomorrow, but we will get rid of the rain chances by the afternoon. I'm seeing highs tomorrow around 51. Chris, we'll break down the rain chances tonight and the rest of the forecast coming up in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. And don't forget, no matter what Mother Nature sends our way, you can stay ahead of it with the Skywatch Weather app. That app is available in the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, and the best news here is it's free of charge. All you have to do is search for the Skywatch Weather app. Well, the Downtown Joplin Alliance is gearing up to clean up downtown Joplin, and they need your help. Now, the 2021 Downtown Clean Team will be heading out to beautify the downtown area on Tuesday, March the 2nd. The DJA is only asking for an hour of your time to help keep downtown looking nice. For more information, you can check out this story over on our website at koamnewsnow.com. The Joplin Sports Authority Board announces they're searching for a new executive director. Now, the announcement came this morning after the board made the decision to replace current executive director Craig Hall. And we did reach out to board president Roger Dolman for more information, but our requests for comment were not returned. An Oklahoma power company paid more for fuel during last week's winter storm than they did through all of last year. Now, the average annual power cost for Oklahoma gas and electric is around $600 million, but the price to keep Oklahomans warm last week is nearly $1 billion. Southwest Power Pool, who manages the state's power grid, says most of that cost stemmed from not having enough natural gas, and that extra cost will likely be passed on to consumers. The Oklahoma Corporation Commission is also looking into a proposal from OG&E to spread out recovery costs over the course of 10 years. Now, if that's approved, officials say it would keep fuel cost-related increases to less than 10% for an average residential customer's bill. The FDA has granted emergency use approval for Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine, making it the third vaccine in the nation's war against the virus. And President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan moves to the Senate after the Democrat-led House passed the measure early today without a single Republican vote. CBS News correspondent Daniel Backus has more from Los Angeles.
With the U.S. approaching 29 million confirmed COVID-19 cases, the FDA on Saturday approved a third vaccine for emergency use. J&J's vaccine showed 85% efficacy against severe illness and complete protection against COVID-19 deaths 28 days after getting the shot.
The more vaccines that have high efficacy that we can get into play, the better there is.
Distribution of Johnson & Johnson single-dose shot, which can be stored in a regular refrigerator, could be well underway this coming week.
We have no time to waste.
Earlier, President Biden thanked the House for passing his nearly $2 trillion COVID relief plan early Saturday and said he hopes it receives quick action in the Senate.
We are one step closer to putting $1,400 in the pockets of Americans. We're one step closer to extending unemployment benefits for millions of Americans who are shortly going to lose them.
Democrats want the measure on the president's desk before enhanced federal unemployment benefits expire on March 14th. The COVID relief bill met unanimous opposition from House Republicans.
Democrats are so embarrassed by all the non-COVID waste in this bill. They are jamming it through in the dead of night. We ran the numbers. The amount of money that actually goes to defeating the virus is less than 9%.
And it's likely to face more GOP challenges in the Senate, especially over Democrats' hope to pass a minimum wage hike that would gradually bring it to $15 an hour. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
On Thursday, the nonpartisan Senate parliamentarians said a provision that would let Democrats push through a minimum wage hike would violate the upper chamber's rules. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Corporal Charles Poe served in the Army in the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. His hometown, Blue Jacket, Oklahoma. We are proud to recognize Corporal Charles Poe, tonight's four-state hero. And of course, remember, to view other heroes or submit one of your own, all you need to do is head over to our website, koamnewsnow.com. And that's a look at our top stories and a quick check of the forecast on the KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, a newly declassified report released concerning the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Plus, a K-9 officer from Duluth who was killed in the line of duty is laid to rest. President Biden today said there will be an announcement Monday about future U.S. relations with Saudi Arabia. This, as a newly declassified intelligence report officially blames Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for the gruesome murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. CBS's Holly Williams has the details.
The report says that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved an operation to capture or kill Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi was an outspoken critic of the Saudi Arabian regime. President Biden says he told the Crown Prince's father, King Salman, that, quote, the rules are changing.
we are going to hold them accountable for human rights abuses. It is outrageous what happened.
Khashoggi went to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey in October 2018 to pick up documents he needed to get married, but he never made it out alive. After denying any involvement in the disappearance for weeks, Saudi Arabia finally admitted Khashoggi had been drugged and killed in the consulate and his body dismembered, though they've always insisted the Crown Prince is innocent.
What is your opinion when it comes to how damaging this has been for Saudi Arabia? Not just the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, but the repeated changing of Saudi Arabia's official story.
With any crime, you have a theory that you develop in the beginning, and then as you uncover more evidence, the theory changes and becomes more focused.
Former President Trump made it clear that the killing was less important than US arms sales.
It's all about America first. We're not going to give up hundreds of billions of dollars in orders.
Though Saudi Arabia is a long-time US ally, Trump's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner cultivated remarkably close ties with the Crown Prince. And critics say the relationship became more transactional, with the US willing to turn a blind eye to human rights abuses. Now the Biden administration has hit the reset button, ending US support for Saudi Arabia's bloody intervention in neighbouring Yemen and releasing this damning report. Holly Williams, CBS News, London.
The Duluth Police Department continues to grieve the loss of K9 Luna, who died in the line of duty Thursday night while police responded to an active standoff situation. As Kendall Jarbo shows, the community gathered this morning for a procession to pay their respects for the K9 and her handler.
She was great what she did. She was also super friendly. I've seen her in the community and just a great asset to the police department.
Duluth Police Department Officer K9 Luna died in the line of duty Thursday night. Saturday morning, the community gathered to honor her memory.
A procession like this is as much to honor K9 Luna, but to also bring all law enforcement together and be together during a time of deep sorrow.
The procession began at the emergency pet hospital where Luna passed away. An emotional display of the bond between K9 and handler.
You work together, you're at home together. It's a special bond, so I can't imagine Officer Haller and what he has to go through.
The public lined the route to show their support of law enforcement and Luna's handler, Officer Aaron Haller.
For Officer K9 Luna, and then his says for Officer K9 Haas.
Luna is the second K9 partner Officer Haller has lost. His former partner, K9 Haas, also died in the line of duty just over 2 years ago. A grieving department and a supportive community remembering the loss.
I felt kind of good because there were so many people who came to support this, and I felt good for myself that I was part of it.
The procession ended in Scanlon, where law enforcement said their final goodbyes to the K9 who sacrificed so much.
I wish them the best time in heaven, though.
A Duluth police rep tells our affiliate when a loss like this happens, it affects not only the handler, but the entire department and the community. Well, Pitt State and Missouri Southern each on the courts and the fields today. Danny Terzer will have the latest from those games a little later in sports.
Plus, I'm still tracking some rain chances that'll stick around to start tomorrow out. We'll look at tomorrow and the rest of the forecast when we come back. We had quite an interesting Saturday. Not only did we start out with fog this morning, but we had to end the day with some scattered rain and thunderstorms across parts of the region. So we started out with the fog, which you saw at the start of the time lapse from Indigo Sky outside of Seneca, Missouri. Then once the late afternoon, early evening got going, we saw at least the start of our scattered rain and thunderstorm chances sneak on in. But as far as what that did with temperatures, though, look at how we fared just over the past 36 hours. We were just stuck in the mid to upper 40s yesterday, dropping back into the mid 30s this morning, and how about that? Back into the 60s for this afternoon. So it was good to see temperatures rebound. That's despite the morning fog that we had, which we saw at the start of the satellite and radar loop here, but also given the fact that we had some partly sunny skies amongst mostly cloudy skies and our late afternoon and evening rounds of rain and thunderstorms. At times, I was a bit concerned if some of these would be just strong enough to bring in some hail into the picture. So far, that has not materialized, and we are thankful for it. We're just backing things down for the time being. Just a few scattered showers around Nevada, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Columbus, and just to the south of Chautauqua and Oswego. But these are just rain chances that will continue as we head throughout the course of the night. Joplin, you're dry right now, 54 degrees, south wind at 11. Thankfully, it doesn't give us a wind chill, so it's nice to finally say the temperature outside feels like exactly what the thermometer says. Everyone's sitting mainly in the lower to middle 50s. We haven't budged out of the 50s ever since the evening got underway, but I do anticipate temperatures dropping back as we head into Sunday morning, not just because of more rain chances on the way, but this cold front finally working across 135. Once we get on the backside of that, we'll have to trend cooler for our Sunday. But in addition to the front out west and the warm fronts as well, providing us with our rain chances this evening and tonight, it's this upper low as well. And this is actually going to split into two. This main low right now is going to move to our north and stay there to the north of us and ultimately push our rain chances out of here. But a second low is going to develop and dig to the south, and that could play a role in the forecast by Tuesday. So a few tricks up Mother Nature's sleeve, but we think we've got a good idea of how things will unfold here. Let's start out with the front out west. It'll start to work in overnight, so as long as we're still on the warm side with all the moisture, we're going to hold on to some scattered rain chances and even some thunderstorms. Not expecting anything too strong though, so we're definitely thankful about that. But once we get past our morning rain chances on Sunday, we're going to calm things down for your Sunday afternoon, but I still think we're going to have to hold on to the cloud cover, as systems like these are always a little not motivated enough to quickly move the cloud cover out. So I do think that will limit temperatures. As far as rain amounts, from here on out, maybe another 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. So not a big rainmaker with these rain chances tonight, but ultimately we will see these drop temperatures back down to 47. Our south wind becomes more westerly. Then as the front kicks in out of the north, that means highs tomorrow only topping out around 51 across the region. Now let's look at the rest of the week. We're quiet. Once we get into Sunday afternoon, we're quiet for Monday. Then this upper low might want to give us a few rain and possible snow showers for Tuesday morning. Then we're dry for the rest of Tuesday. Then I see us staying quiet for Wednesday before we see another low out west, bringing better chances for rain and thunderstorms by Thursday and Friday. So 51 tomorrow and Monday for each of those afternoons. Let's go 50 on Tuesday, 60 on Wednesday, lower 60s on Thursday. Still thinking the better chances for rain in the coming week, Chris, will be Thursday and Friday. And thankfully Tuesday, not too impressed with that system, but given how we're not quite officially done with winter yet, it's something else we'll keep an eye on.
Definitely not too wild and crazy, but certainly busy this upcoming week.
A little bit, but thankfully nowhere busy as the past few weeks around here.
Nick, thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, Missouri Southern baseball stays dominant to start the season. Plus, the Gorilla women close out the regular season with a special win.
The Gorillas close out the regular season at home today with a matchup against Newman. It's been a while since they last saw the Jets, all the way back in November, a game they won pretty handily. PSU looking for the series sweep and to go into the MIAA tournament fresh off a win. Kaylee DeMitz fakes, reverse layup, bobbles but gets down. DeMitz put up 25. Jets now, it's Faith Mason Vestal turning, jumper is good. Maya Williams, nice move to get the bucket. Then DeMitz off the backboard and in. That's 1,000 career points for the junior. Gorillas win to close out the season 69-61.
We just got at this point, every game is our last, so we just have to play like that and play for each other and play with energy, and I think the rest will take care of itself.
The Gorilla men look to snap a 4-game skid and end the season with a win. RJ Forney nails the corner 3. Now, for Newman, Ian Lee to Joel Boyce for the bucket and 1. Lee with 23 points. Quentin Hardwick Jr., nice looking basket. It's a 4-point game at half, PSU leading. Game stays tight, but Newman pulls out the win, 79-77. The Missouri Southern women are fresh off a solid win against Washburn on Thursday. They aim to take that momentum into today's matchup against Central Oklahoma. The Lions looking to solidify their spot in the postseason. First quarter, Megan Jackson with the stop and shoot 2. Lions lead. Later in that quarter, Amaya Johns gets the rebound. She hits the fadeaway. Missouri Southern leading by 1 second quarter. Johns again, she drops a mid-range jumper. Then into the fourth quarter now. Lane Skiles, she's on the left wing. She drains the 3. Missouri Southern gets the win, 67-57.
It definitely helps with confidence. I think if we can play like that, we can beat anybody.
We are able to compete with anyone in this league, and just going in with 2 wins under our belt this week is definitely a confidence boost.
The Missouri Southern men close out their season with a tough loss. Tonight's matchup needs overtime. It's Central Oklahoma that comes away with the win. Stan Scott had the Lions team high with 25 points. Lawson Jenkins had 20, Cam Martin 19. The Missouri Southern Lions kick off their first MIAA series of the season this afternoon. They host a doubleheader today against Emporia State. Southern wins game 1, 3-0. They've opened up the season with a 7-0 record. Looking for win number 8 in game 2. Top of the third, game tied at 1. Chandler Bloomer with the single to the right. That brings home Blake Carroll. Top of the fourth, the ground out to third. Hornets will go scoreless in the frame. Bottom 4, Clay Milas with the grounder through the gap. That brings home Troy Gagan. Game tied at 2. Missouri Southern gets 2 more runs in the 6th. That'll win it for the Lions 4-3. Pittsburgh State also opens up MIAA play today on the road with a doubleheader against Fort Hays State. In Game 1, Pitt State wins it handily. A late surge gets them the 9-1 win. Mason Hartman had 3 runs, Cruz Aranda with 2. Gorillas take Game 2 as well, 6-0. That's it for sports. We'll be back with more news after this.
At Labette Community.
Scatter rain and a few rumblers through tonight and into tomorrow morning. The 51 tomorrow, quiet Monday before another system on Tuesday, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. And that's our time for now. Our next news time tomorrow night at 9 on Fox 14. Of course, we'll be right back here at 10 on KOAM. Thanks for making us part of your evening.